Hey, this is Monty Edwards with United Country Real Estate, M. Edwards Realty and Land. Today I'm really excited to be sitting out in front of one of our listings here in Littlefield, Texas. Joining me today I have Carrie Hanlon. For you guys that don't know her, she's our Littlefield connection with the real estate company. And Carrie's been nice enough to come with me today to go look through this property. This property, the reason we're here today, we want to really kind of let people see that there's a lot of extra things about this property. If you're just driving down the street or looking online, you might miss in this property. So Carrie, thanks for being with me today.
You're welcome.
One of the things before we get in the house that I wanted to talk about a little was the attention to detail with the landscaping and some of the work on the architecture on this house. One thing you've got here, Carrie, what do you think about these trees?
Well, I just think that it's just this area of town, that's where you're going to see the bigger trees, the pretty landscaping. This is one area that we don't have other areas don't have the trees like we have over here. They're just kind of native to this area.
You know, the neighborhoods that are more well established, that is a big advantage. And the thing that I've noticed in this part of town is people, when they were doing that back in the day, they were also putting a pretty good variety of trees. Because you've got some hardwoods here that you don't always have in this part of the country that would take years to grow. And you talk about the landscaping expense, that's just something that's pretty significant. So we wanted to point out the nice yard here, the corner lot, the fact that there's a rear entry garage, which is not something that you have in a lot of the houses at this era that were built in these towns. So, and also, you know, you're 2 seconds out there onto the highway on 385 and then 30 minutes to Lubbock.
Right.
So big value there. So we're going to go on inside the house now, talk about a few of the strengths on the inside, and take you for a little walk through this home.
Want to see more videos like this? Make sure to click and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can find our most recent videos and listings. Now, back to scheduled programming.
We're going to start in this room up front. I know a lot of the newer style homes, they've gone to doing an open concept. And you don't see a lot of formal living room, dining rooms in houses nowadays. But when you've got a house that's this square footage, the nice thing about it is you've got big rooms. I mean, you've got a really nice, huge formal living room here that could be used as a second sitting room. You could use it. You could just make it a huge dining room, which would be really cool. But we've also, at the back end of this kitchen, as you'll see in a minute, have a really nice breakfast nook as well. So one of the things too, as you walk through this house, the detail is there's plantation shutters in nearly all the windows.
Right.
I mean, Carrie, do you see that adding value to a home when you're selling them, when they have these little extras like that?
I do, and I especially love the plantation shutters. I think they're just a little bit a step above, and I think that it just kind of pays a little bit more attention to detail that they have in this home.
And one of the neat things in here too, they do have the break that kind of does separate the wood floor over here from, if you do want to try to make it a two-room deal with the formal and the dining room. So from here we're going to move on into the kitchen. We'll take a look at that in the breakfast area and see. One of the things about this house that just jumps out to me is if you're a person who likes to entertain or wanted to have people in your house or had a big family, this house has a lot to offer.
What I love about this kitchen is that it has been updated. They paid a lot of attention to detail. The granite is beautiful. The woodwork, painted wood cabinets really blend in good. Everybody loves the islands. That's a really big deal. Kind of a little touch that we kind of like is just the retro appliances that we have in the kitchen. Farmhouse sinks, those are huge. As you go out of the kitchen, I think it's nice to notice over here there is a large dining space. So you have 2 eating areas. Whenever if you're entertaining a lot of people, you have your space in there where you can, some people can sit, but then you have a larger sitting area over here for eating.
You know, in talking about that, Carrie, I mean, you really would be short selling this space to call it a breakfast nook. Because it's a true dining area outside the kitchen.
Yeah, it's a beautiful kitchen. Okay, as we come out of the dining area, we come into our main living area. So many things about this room to love. The hardwood cabinets in the back, freshly painted, nice carpet in here. The fireplace, if you come back around to the fireplace is beautiful, beautiful large hearth. There are the big picture windows that go out that look out into your backyard. And the special ceilings, which I think add so much value to rooms like this. So as we were talking about earlier, it's not an open concept home, but this is a large space, which, you know, in this particular home, the dividing space is great because it is so large, the rooms are so large.
You know, and you bring that up because over the last few years, I've talked to several folks that have lived in both an open concept and a more conventional built house. And there are pluses and minuses to that, because one of the big advantages is if you are entertaining or you have people in your house, say like for the Super Bowl. You got a big room here, you would probably have a television where you could be in here watching the game, but yet if other folks were wanting to visit, they could be separated and have a little bit of privacy, because one of the big complaints I hear sometimes with the open concept homes are they're loud. Right. You get a lot of people in them, it's hard to hear. So there's some reasons that back in the day people like to put the walls up. It's expensive to build a house this way today. And so there's a lot of materials. And you mentioned that fireplace. That's an oversized fireplace, isn't it? So pretty cool. So,
okay, as we walk in here, this is the master bedroom. This would be one of what could really, in this home, actually have two master
two en-suites, really.
Yeah, really two en-suites. Size, here again we go back to the size of these rooms. This room is just really great size. Double closet, so you have like a his and her closet. Both of them walk in, really nice size. Little vanity area out in here with the privacy door, so you can close off and go into the restroom. Pocket doors, I think that's another thing that we didn't mention was the pocket doors. Pocket doors are really big, save space. You know, you don't have to worry about them slinging open and knocking holes in the wall. They're a really great addition. And
I know a lot of folks may have been in the last few years seen some of the pocket doors that are out there, but in these older houses, these doors are heavy doors. They're good, heavy hung pocket doors, which do give you some flexibility in your room. Carrie mentioned something a while ago when we were in the master bedroom, and this house actually does have two true en-suites. It's really neat, especially if you were needing a guest bedroom or had maybe a person needing to come live with you in the family member or something that you needed to take care of. So, you know, we'll do a little bit of talking, but Carrie, tell me a little bit about this room.
Well, this room here again, kind of go back to the size. Great size. What I love about this room is if you were just wanting to look out back, beautiful view of the backyard. You can see the pond going out there. When you get into the bathroom, you have it's a tub shower combination, beautiful flooring, and a great walk-in closet. So this is just a really nice addition. I can't say that I've shown very many houses that have two true main rooms or master en-suites. I think it's one of my favorite rooms in the house.
You know, another thing that is kind of neat about this house being a little bit older, the style of it. We talked about not being open concept as much, but also you've got a house with 4 bedrooms. Every bedroom has private bathroom access. Now this particular bedroom accompanies one on the other side, almost a Jack and Jill. We've got a sink, 2 sinks, and a long cultured marble vanity that's been put in a few years ago. Bathrooms in the house, fairly up to date. I mean, this one especially, some really pretty tile. What we're going to do is we're going to walk through that. You've got really nice closets in every room in this house. If you open this up and you look, I mean, because this is actually the 4th bedroom. So you're looking at built-ins, shelves, shoe racks. I mean, these are just things that if you were doing this today, they're all extras. And you don't see all that. So we're going to go ahead and shut that back. And we're going to take a walk through the bathroom. As we do, I want you to kind of hit with the camera the private shower and tub. The walk-in shower and toilet, which makes it nice too if there's a situation where kids are sharing a bathroom. They have that private toilet and shower, but yet still have access to their vanities. Really nice counter space here too. Lots of room here, built-ins, lots of continual cabinets. One thing in this house you'll never lack is storage. Carrie, I'll let you talk a little bit about this room.
Well, what I love about the bedrooms, first of all, is they're larger. In the newer homes, we all know that the bedrooms seem to be a little bit smaller. These rooms are just large. They've got great walk-in closets. I think another great thing to point out about this home is there's no popcorn ceiling. So that's great. You don't have to scrape popcorn. Plantation shutters, and just if you open those things up, just nice and bright.
Almost like a bay. It's not really a true
almost like a bay.
box in, but a really neat window set right there.
Okay, we popped out here to this beautiful backyard, and before we get to covering the backyard, I would like to mention there's a lot that we can't really cover in a video this quick. Large laundry area, half bath, huge pantry, and a basement all back in this other wing of the home, which actually goes into the two-car garage. It's oversized, plenty of room for a freezer. So many features of this home that that you don't really realize is here. Great home, and then you step out, you've got this great covered patio, and then out here, Monty, what do you think?
Well, I'm an outside person by nature. We spend a lot of time at our home on the patio. First time I saw this house, there's a few things if you live in West Texas that you'll know this when I bring this up, and if you don't and you're looking at moving here, these are things you need to know. Our prevailing winds come from the southwest. Most days if we do get wind, and we get wind in this part of the country, you're going to get those hard, stiff winds that'll come out of the southwest. This house faces the south, so the back of the house is facing the north. This patio is set up perfect to be a shelter to block that wind. Not only that, you're going to be blocking that hot evening sun that comes down in the evening. So your patio is just going to be a little oasis out here. And I love what they've done here because the owners have come in and put in this is West Texas as it gets, a horse trough fountain. But, when you live out in a part of the world like we do, we're pretty arid. And it's nice to have something to come home in the evenings, sit out here, barbecue. You've got just an unbelievable backyard here. Look at the trees again, Carrie.
It's so quiet.
Yeah.
It's just like you're in your own little private.
It is. I feel like when you're here, you almost can. It's an escape spot, and and we don't have the benefit of what you could do with the furnishings and the things out here. But also, you mentioned some of the extras in the house. You've got this garage that's also blocking the street here, your rear entry, and you have access to a freezer area in there, like if you wanted to keep some of your stuff for barbecues, some of that. A beautiful storage shed.
Privacy fence.
Nice fence, taller fence. And look at the millwork and the concrete work back here. You've got the stone, faux stone out here around the patio, but then or the flagstone, and then you've also got all this concrete that has been put in. And if you've priced concrete lately, that's a lot of dollars worth of concrete back here.
I think another thing, just to finish up with this property, is this house was built a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure what year it was built, but it is a solid home.
Mm-hmm.
It is just one of those it's kind of in a little historic area of Littlefield, in my opinion. Some of the more beautiful homes in this neighborhood. I just think it's a great home with lots to offer. I think it'd be great if we could get some people out here and give them their own.
If you're looking right now and say you were in the edge of Lubbock, looking for a value, right, and you're wanting to be outside of town, like maybe don't want to live right in the middle of Lubbock, Texas, but you want to be conveniently placed in a place where you can get it. Another great point to mention is Littlefield is far enough from Lubbock that Littlefield's not a bedroom community. Right. We have 2 grocery stores. We've got a clinic, a hospital. We also have a great prescription shop. So if a person moves out here and needs to have, that's actually a pretty progressive one because they've added locations in other places. So there's a lot to offer here because you have places to eat. So I talk to people that have bought houses, thinking, 10 miles out, 15 miles out, but they realize something. You get in some of those communities that are just right on the edge of Lubbock, and you got to go back into Lubbock for everything. You come home from work, you got to go back to town to eat because all the restaurants, there's no restaurants that stay open at night in those towns that are just right on the edge of town. Another important thing to look at too, you mentioned a little older home, a little older neighborhood. Tax-wise, this house is going to look pretty good to a person from a tax standpoint. So, and these houses that have been here a while, the thing about them, they are older, but they're here and they've stood the test of time, and you get a good idea, are they going to hold up?
That's right.
So really a cool house. We'd love to get you out here. Look, Carrie, me, we'd love to show it to you. She knows this house inside and out. I've been in it a lot myself. We just want people to see the value in this thing so we can get them out here and take a look. So give us a call at 806-686-6371, or you can check it out on our website at medwardsrealty.com. One other thing I'd like to ask you to do, if you're watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe to our page, because anytime we put out one of these videos, if you'll do that, you'll get a notification. That includes our highlight videos when we list in properties and all of that as well. And if you're watching it on Facebook, be sure and like our page. I would encourage you, though, to go to YouTube, look for our videos there, because we have a direct line of connection with you there if you'll do that. Because anytime we list a new property, that's where we post the highlight video. So you would get an update. I have people all the time saying, let me know when y'all list something. Well, that's one of the best ways that you can get on there, is to go subscribe to our YouTube channel.